The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans. It is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. The Ride Home Rants podcast wants to thank you for listening and let everybody know that we do offer monthly subscriptions to help support the show in other ways other than listening and downloading each episode. What you will get with each subscription is you will get bonus episodes that aren't released to everybody. You will also have a chance to ask me anything each and every month where I will put out a special episode just to answer your questions. You will also get more exclusive content that is not released to everybody. To subscribe to the show, go and click on the link in the description of this episode, and I look forward to your added support and to help us keep this show going. The Ride Home Rants podcast is also brought to you by Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming products at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of our supplies are from other Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at buddysbeardcare.com. Use the promo code BONO15 and he will save you 15%. I've been using these products for a little over 6 months now, and my beard has never felt healthier. It has never grown faster, and according to my wife, it has never felt softer. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by former guest of the show in Matt Landowski in Sweet Hands Sports. Elevate your game with Sweet Hands Sports. Our sports gloves are designed for champions, providing ultimate grip and durability. Achieve greatness with every match. Choose Sweet Hands Sports for the winning edge. Grip your victory at sweethandsports.com. Use the promo code BONO10 and he will save you 10%. He has sent me a complimentary pair of golf gloves. They are so comfortable, durable, and breathable. You won't find a better pair of gloves out there. Again, sweethandsports.com, promo code BONO10. Lastly, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Deemed Fit, a clothing company from first responders for first responders. These products are so comfortable. They look great. They have great messages on them. They are provided to support first responders, especially those who worked through COVID. All of the proceeds are going to helping veterans and first responders with their mental and physical health. This is a great cause. I support anything that has to do with our first responders and our veterans. Again, deemedfit.co, promo code Mike Bono will save you 20%. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I have a great and very special episode that we're going to do for you here today. I am bringing on the wonderful manager of the podcast, Johnny Fitty Falcone here. Everybody knows him. We will save the introduction. He's been on a bunch of shows. He's the man behind the scenes, too, as well. But we are going to be talking about today all of the great and wonderful sponsors that we have for the Ride Home Rants podcast. We're going to show them some love and give them a whole episode where we're just going to sit and talk about them. So Webb Western, Tactical Brotherhood, Sweet Hand Sports, Shankitgolf, Buddy's Beard Care, Deemed Fit, all of those great sponsors that you hear in the pre and the post roll, that roll at the beginning and end of this episode. We're going to talk to them, show them some love. So without further ado, Fitty, welcome on, brother.
Yeah, man, this is pretty cool. I know we talked a little bit about how our sponsors work. When we did the
Yeah.
behind the scenes show a couple years ago, it'd be pretty cool to just talk about all things sponsors and how it goes into it, how we get them, how long they've been with us, how we exchange things with them. And I know we're both rocking hats with the different sponsors. You with
Yep.
Webb Western and me with
Yep.
Sweet Hand Sports. So, I'm happy to dive into all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna dive into that. Let's talk about Sweet Hand Sports, our good buddy Matt Landowski, coming on board with us here with Sweet Hand Sports with his golf gloves and everything like that. You and I have both known Lando forever, since the days of Bethany College. Him starting his own business and this business venture has been great. We're happy to have him on board. I know you and him talk a little bit more about it too as well. You two connect a little bit more than I can. I'm a little bit busier than most people. So tell us a little bit more about Sweet Hand Sports that you know.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, Matt Lando, as we all call him and I were college teammates. Of course, we went to school with Mike, even though Lando was a few years younger than me. So when we reconnected with the show, for people that don't know, Lando started this Sweet Hand Sports business, which was batting gloves and golf gloves. So softball, baseball, or a golf glove, I should say, not gloves, a glove. So when Lando was on the show with us a whole bunch of times, taking time out of his busy schedule of his regular full-time job and then doing Sweet Hand Sports, Mike and I talked here, and I said, hey, Mike, maybe we should think about bringing Lando on as a sponsor. He's taken all this time out to be with us. And for people that don't know, all of our guests do this for free because they enjoy being on. So we wanted to reward Lando with always being on the round tables and jumping in when needed. But, he does sell golf glove, baseball gloves, softball gloves. So if you're looking to hit the links or, the diamond this spring and summer, whether you're a high school student or, an amateur or just someone who's out there having fun, definitely check out Matt with that. He does a great job with it. He sent me in Bono hats, Sweet Hand Sports hats. I actually love this hat. It's like one of my favorite hats.
Yeah.
So thank you, Bono, for that. So, shout out to Sweet Hand Sports there.
Yeah, absolutely. Lando has been great. Big fan of the show. We're big fans of him too as well. I'm actually pumped. A buddy of mine, we are planning a little golf get together. We haven't been able to connect for a while, so we're getting a bunch of buddies of ours together here in May. So I'm really going to get the chance to test out the golf glove that Lando sent me. You're right. I do wear that hat a lot. Not as much as I would want to. I have other great sponsors that send me some hats and shirts and that I want to get to be able to give them their love and shine and everything like that with helping out with the show too as well. So big shout out to Matt Landowski. If you go to his website, sweethandsports.com, promo code Mike Bono, and he's going to save you 10% off of your purchase of your glove. He does have the hats on there too as well. I know me and him have talked about he is going to start getting some like golf polos too as well. I don't know if there's one on the website yet, but keep a lookout for those two as well. Again, promo code Mike Bono, and it'll save yourself 10%. So that's the first one. Another one I want to talk about a little bit too as well. One I'm really proud of, and that's Buddy's Beard Care. Comic friend of mine, Buddy Holly, is a comedian. He started his own beard care company. And if anybody has seen any of his stuff, this man has the most fantastic beard I've ever seen. I mean, it's one of those ZZ top length beards. I mean, it's phenomenal. And the stuff that he sends me monthly is the beard balm and beard oil. I know if anybody's been watching on the Patreon, you've seen my beard be getting thicker and thicker. As the shows go on, and it is because of Buddy's products. I use his beard oil and his beard balm every day. He does have a face wash in there too as well, beard wash that I use daily. I mean, I never had a problem with growing facial hair or anything like that. This is just set it to like Jedi level, and I feel like my beard is growing faster and faster, and it's felt healthier and healthier. I don't know if it's directly related to this, but I am getting older, so the grays are becoming less and less. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what it is, But that has helped out. He is helping out everybody. Again, promo code Mike Bono, 15% off at buddiesbeardcare.com. Check him out on stage. He's all over Ohio. And the best thing about all of his stuff is all of his products are locally sourced here to Ohio. He is a very local small business. He wants to support local. We are all on board with that too as well. Anybody who's willing to support local and small businesses, we have looked into connected with them. But Buddy's Beard Care is a phenomenal products. The beard balm keeps my beard intact. It doesn't get straggly or crazy. Keeps it looking neat and trimmed and just felt healthier. It's softer now. So those are some of the things for Buddy's Beard Care. I don't believe you've gotten to use any of that with Buddy's Beard Care yet. Have you, Fitty?
No, I haven't. And I'm like, should I? But the way my beard grows, like I like to try to keep it like a 2 guard or a 1 because
Yeah.
I just don't like it getting super bushy to want to throw on stuff. But I will definitely tell you this: I have more grays than you. So
You
kudos
do.
to Buddy's Beard Care and the Must Be Rogaine in there, or Just for Men or whatever it is to get everybody's like patches and fullness and like make it look dark and suave. So I got like kind of like the salt and pepper going on now. But yeah, you can't even see no whites in yours. So shout out Buddy's Beard Care.
They're there. Don't let that fool you. They're there. The camera is being kind to me today with that, but they're probably going to be more and more here. I haven't said this on here much, but I know they're going to be getting more and more grays. My stepdaughter is due with our first grandchild here at the end of May. So come that time, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more gray hairs with there being a baby coming in. So I'm sure that'll happen there too as well. But that is Buddy's Beard Care again, buddiesbeardcare.com, promo code Mike Bono. Save yourself 15% off of those two as well. Buddy's Beard Care has been with us now coming up on a little bit over a year now that I've been using the products and he's been on board. Real happy to have Buddy on. So shout out to you, Buddy. I know you're killing it on stage and you got a busy schedule too as well. But we're happy to have you on board. Another sponsor that has been on here for a while. They've been on since I think they're on their 3rd season now with us, and that is Tactical Brotherhood. Tactical Brotherhood is a company that it was founded by veterans, for veterans, and all, if not all, sorry, most of the proceeds do go to helping veterans with their physical and mental health. I support our veterans. I have a lot of military in my family. My wife has a lot of military in her family. So we are always wanting to support them. The products are great. They're comfortable. They all have great messages on them too as well. Fiddy, I know you've seen them around. Obviously, they've been around with us for a couple of seasons now. So take us through a little bit of your thoughts on Tactical Brotherhood.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, it was really established to help the veterans that work through COVID, whether it's first responders, police, you can even throw your medical personnel in there, right? People who were really at the front lines of dealing with the public during that public health crisis. So, you had a lot of people, unfortunately, have not just physical ailments from dealing with the COVID pandemic, but also mental ailments. So, and unfortunately, some issues there. So, you had the Tactical Brotherhood jumped up. Their proceeds do go help supporting veterans, which is a great cause. And I know Mike has that on the post roll and the pre roll when you do listen to the show. So I think it is great for that. We are very proud veterans show. We've had veterans on here, people that have served proudly, from police officers and firemen and even women, and also people who served in the military. 4 members of my family serve proudly in 3 global conflicts. So, we're definitely very happy to have them on. And, we love our veterans and our first responders. So, we're definitely happy to share a little bit of insight for them here and give them some love on, Ride Home Rants.
Yeah. I mean, I love their shirts and their clothing line too as well, that they have. just some of the messages that they have on the shirts. They do have funny sayings too on there too as well, but it's all military themed. Uh, um, like they sent me obviously just the standard Tactical Brotherhood across the chest with that, but they knew I had a son who was interested in the military. They sent me a complimentary shirt for him, and they knew my wife had military members in her family. Her father, her grandfather, 106th Airborne Screaming Eagles. He's no longer with us, but we are very proud of that. And they sent her a shirt, and on the back says, "I got your six," and it has a big Screaming Eagle on it, which we thought was awesome. That came through for us. They listened to us and they sent that out to us. My son, he was thinking about, he's still kicking around joining the Marines after high school. So they sent him a Marine Corps green t-shirt, Tactical Brotherhood, and has Semper Fi on the back of it, which again, thought was pretty cool for them to listen to that, get to know me a little bit better, and then send those complimentary shirts for us. Again, on Patreon, you'll be able to see those shirts that I wear during the shows. You're going to have to go back a few seasons to be able to see a couple of those. I've had a lot of other sponsors that have come on too as well that I'm trying to show love to. But Tactical Brotherhood, Mike Bono, save yourself 10% off of their purchases there. Again, everything's going to a great cause. Part of every proceeds from everything that is bought is going to first responders, veterans, mental and physical health. Huge thing for us. And we're always happy to support that. Finny, which one the great sponsors next would you like to talk about?
Maybe let's go into talking about golf and gearing up for golf season here with March. Let's talk about Shankitgolf.
I love Shankitgolf. I'm such a fan of Shankitgolf. I was so happy when they came on board. Golf apparel. I mean, I'm not the best golfer in the world, but I love their polos. They're great. They're comfortable. They've sent me a couple of hats that, again, I will be rocking in the golf outing come May. The funny sayings that they have on all of their golf equipment that they sent us. I actually went on and bought a ball marker. And it says 3-putt king, which is just perfect for me. With the funny sayings that they have on their apparel that they have one. I'm debating on which golf towel I want to use if I'm going to switch it up, because we are playing 2 courses come May in one day. But one of them is for Star Wars Day, and instead of "May the 4th be with you," it says "May the course be with you," which I thought was pretty cool. Has a lightsaber that turns into a golf club, which is hilarious to me. And being a comedian, them having the funny sayings on all of their things, like the other golf towel says, "I use this towel to wash my balls." It's just these double entendres that I think are hysterical to me. And I love golf. I just don't get out as much as I would like to with my busy schedule. I don't believe you golf that much, or have you in the past, Betty?
No, I'm much more of a for everybody knows me, contact sport guy, boxing, football. Even I love my track and field, but no, I don't have the patience to golf. I think anybody that knows me on like a personal level knows if there was ever someone who would act like Happy Gilmore on the golf course, it would be me. And I wouldn't be good driving the ball 400 yards, driving about 40 yards and throw the club maybe 80 yards. So yeah, no, I play a mean game of putt putt, but yeah, regular golf on the golf course, just can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I don't see you as a golfer for sure. I love my contact sports too, but got into golf at an early age. My grandmother golfed a lot. She would take me out all the time. Grandfather actually had his pro card, and was a big golfer. So got into golf, at an early age. I'm not that good at it. I mainly go out to have fun with my buddies, which is all what Shankitgolf is about. Now, obviously, there are some actual golfers that use Shankitgolf. but I like it for the funny sayings and for the comedic value of it, being a comedian myself. Shankitgolf, promo code Mike Bono, save yourself 20% off of all of their stuff there. Again, Shankitgolf, promo code Mike Bono. That one is, they've been around for a while now too. I think they're coming on their second season with us, if not their third. They were one of the first ones to come on board. I'm trying to remember if it was 2 or 3. I think it's 3 seasons now, if not more.
Mike, I think this is actually season, since we're in season 6, this is their 4th season.
This is their 4th season. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm almost
that's
positive.
Right. Yep. I would say they've been around a little bit. So that would mean Tactical Brotherhood is on their 4th or 5th season then. Because they were one of the first sponsors we landed was Tactical Brotherhood, and Shankitgolf came on shortly after. So yeah. 4th season for Shankitgolf of the Ride Home Rants podcast. We're super happy to have them on board. Again, shankitgolf.com, promo code Mike Bono, save yourself 20%. And get out and hit the links, everybody. I mean, even if it's putt-putt, who cares? Get yourself some Shankitgolf gear. You can rock it on and off the course. And just get out and have some fun in golf. Can't wait for my golf outing again in May. With a couple good buddies of mine that I haven't gotten to see since college days. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to get out and reconnect with them and just have some fun on the course for sure. I feel like there's one sponsor we're leaving out for this show here. Who am I forgetting? We got Buddy. Oh, Deemed Fit. Oh, there it is. Yep, I was saying there was one more before we get into the newest one with Webb Western. But Deemed Fit, also a first responder based clothing apparel company, helping them again with mental and physical health too as well. Another clothing company that wants to jump on board with us, mainly for the first responders that work during the COVID pandemic. Again, everyone on the front lines, this is going to them too as well. These ones have messages on them too as well, but it is a lot of positive messages on there. Their "You Got This" line reminds them that no matter what you're going through, there are people behind you. You do have the support that you're going to need. Don't be afraid to go out and get it. Their "Are You Okay" line, again, reminding you that just because people put on a happy face doesn't mean everyone is always doing great, and just reminds you to check in with everybody. And just, as we say at the end of every episode, be a friend and tell a friend. You know, if somebody is needing you there, just be that support for them. I'm a big fan of, just supporting others. That's why we have all these great sponsors on the show. That's why I'm always giving people shameless plugs and shout outs on here, because I want to be able to help them. But a lot of friends that were police officers and firefighters. I have a buddy who's been on the show before, Harry Myers. He was a police officer for as long as I can remember, knowing him. Growing up, he was actually the K-9 unit in my hometown and has since moved over to the fire department in Wheeling, West Virginia. So he has done and seen both sides of the coin, being in fire and police. He's also a paramedic now on the firefighting for the fire department in Wheeling. So kudos to Harry. Shameless plug, shameless shout out for your fire department there in Wheeling. I know I always see you on TikTok. You guys are doing big things there too as well. But Deemed Fit is for anybody for your first responders. That doesn't disclude the medical professionals out there, the nurses, the doctors, everybody that was on the front lines during the pandemic. This is a company for you too as well. We want to be able to support that in any way we can. So anybody that goes on, all of these links, by the way, are in the description of every show. If you can't remember which website to go to, and the promo codes will be on there too as well, and attached to those too as well. So just click the links in the description and the bios of these episodes, and you'll be able to take yourself right to these websites and get these great products. But Deemed Fit. So, Fitty, tell me a little bit more about some of your favorite things about Deemed Fit.
Yeah, I think that like we kind of have we have said it's the messages, right? It's the supporting people, and I think that's the great thing about really all of our sponsors, right? Is they support someone somehow, some way, some small business, some endeavor, whatever it may be. And I know it's about Webb Western still, but I just like all the messages that we have, and the fact these are really small business owners, that help us because we are a small podcast.
Yeah.
Trying to find our way, but thankful for all the great sponsors over the past 6 years with hanging with us. But that's probably what I would say about the deemed fit, but all of them though. They're just go out, check them out. And for people that don't know, the great descriptions that you see for all the shows is all Mike. So shout out to Mike on that, because that was the AI companion that we got that lists all of the great websites for everyone and all the details of the show. So that's just something to shout out as well. But definitely check out the websites, everyone. I think it's well worth it to at least browse, and every purchase does, change someone's life in a positive way. You get to grow a great message or support a small business, and you're helping a small business grow. So just my shameless plug there as well.
No, we're always about shameless plugs. Yeah, I love it. I appreciate the shout out there with the descriptions. The AI companion has been a big help with that for sure, and making sure I get everything in there for all of these great sponsors, and I don't miss anything with that. Deemed Fit, again, promo code Mike Bono will save yourself 10% off of those two as well. And it's deemedfit.co for them. Again, Mike Bono, promo code 10% off. And the last one that we were going to talk about is the newest one to the show. They have been on for a couple of months now. They came out and they rounded out, I believe, season 5 at the very end of the season there. And we've been on since season 6 now. And that is Webb Western, clothing company for those of you who aren't afraid of hard work, people that like to live off of the land. Dylan Webb, a former rancher, turned entrepreneur into this, is the one who started this company. They say they're a no BS company, and I believe it. They love hunting, fishing, living off the land, and working the land. You can find them all over social media now. They are becoming a huge social media presence on there with Webb Western, and trying to get their hat line out there. They are starting into the clothing department too. It is mainly hats. I am wearing their antler one for their bow hunters out there with the arrow through it. And the arrow doesn't just mean for bow hunting. It is to remind everyone to be a straight shooter. They have just found out that there's been, kind of a lot of fluff that's been out there, and we don't need that anymore. We need to just be straight shooters with everybody and just roll with the punches, and don't be afraid of hard work, because it will get you somewhere. Look at all the great small businesses that are a part of this show, and even this show in general. Johnny and I have been working tirelessly for 6 years on this show, and it is growing, and we are proud of where we are at. So that is part of the reason I wanted Webb Western to come on, and I'm glad they did. Somebody, when you grow up in the country of West Virginia too as well, it's a great company to work with you. Fitty, I know they're newer to us here too as well, but take us through your thoughts on Webb Western.
Yeah, I think they're a great addition, right? Especially because there's just a different type of apparel, right? If you don't want the Tactical Brotherhood, or you don't want the golf stuff, right? You don't want the messages from Deemed Fit. Like if you just want a hat and you want to go work on the land, or you want to go fishing in the streams of West Virginia, or go hunting or hiking in the rolling hills of Virginia, or wherever, Appalachia, or the Rockies. I think it's just a great thing to have. And I think too, to be the straight shooter thing is really cool, right? I think most people appreciate when you can be direct, being direct in a kind way, though, right? So be a straight shooter, just be kind, be be direct with people. I think people would really appreciate that. So I think it's a good message for everyone to be a straight shooter. And I think we've had enough people on here who probably would appreciate that, being, outdoorsy people and being involved, or, our first responders or police officers, whatever they may be. So I think they'd probably also enjoy, some of those sayings with Webb Western. So yeah, I think they've been a great addition.
Yeah, they've definitely been a great addition. I was pumped. I've been watching their stuff for a while, seeing them kind of start to creep onto my feeds on Facebook and everything like that, and Instagram, and took a shot in the dark and reached out to them. Wanted to see if they wanted to come on board. Was pumped when they said they did. Sent me some complimentary hat skin. They sent me one. They sent my wife one, and they sent my son one. And shamelessly, I went on and I ordered more. I have about 5 different hats from Webb Western, and I love every single one of them. If I can get my son to stop stealing them from me, that would be great, because he loves them too as well. But yeah, we're really happy to have them on board. WebbWestern.com, promo code Mike Bono will save yourself 10% off of all of their stuff. They have great hats. Go and check them out. They have them for everything. They've even started to dabble lately in the golfing era, for people that just want to get out there too. Again, you're not working the land, but you're on the land out there golfing. So go out, check them out, WebbWestern.com, promo code Mike Bono. Save yourself 10%. That is all of the current sponsors that are on board here for the Ride Home Rants podcast. I wanted to get all of them in first, and talk about them. Fiddy, I'm going to turn it over to you, because we've had other people come on in other ways to help us out, and I'll let you talk a little bit more about some of them too as well, and we'll dive into that.
Yeah, for sure. So the people that have been listening for 6 years, right? You've seen the progression with our sponsors, with doing the reads, right? When the show would actually start, to then, having the intro music, to then pre and post roll recordings. And that's all really come about from a couple of different things, right? When the show started, we didn't have an intro. We had one of my friends on Speedo, who loves music, and he created the intro for Ride Home Rants here. So shout out Speedo. He's a great musician, knows a lot about music, the music, industry, music tech. So he had the intro start. So it made it a little bit easier to start flowing into the sponsors, right? And when you're starting out, when you don't hardly have any momentum here, and you're trying to find sponsors, and we're bringing all these different people on pretty much every week. Our sponsors have come from a lot of different methods. The ones Mike has are locked in with commission and sales and the discounts and things of that nature. The other sponsors we've had off and on, like Nick Tombo, who's been an individual guest and on a few times with Coach's Dry Rub. When Nick was on the first time, he sent Mike and I some dry rub from his dry rub business. So shout out Coach's Dry Rub. So we did a sponsor read for him, I think, for a month. So we said, Nick, what do you want us to say? You sent us both dry rub to test out, and then we went from there. And then another thing that we did was with him was that we had him, or he wanted to sponsor, I think May is like National Barbecue Month or something like that,
Yeah.
National Cookout Month. So he wanted to be a part of that. So we went forward with doing that. He sent him on to some of the guests that we had, which was really, really cool. So we had that going on. So he wanted to be a part of that. I think that was about 3 years ago now. We've had on Wendy Kunash, for people that have listened to a lot of the roundtables. Wendy's a staple of the show. I think back 5 years ago, she gave Mike and I beanies for her company that she works for in the real estate business. So Mike and I wrote a sponsorship write-up for her, and we listed that for 5 weeks just because she sent us the hats, and still wear that hat, all the time. Our one of our first season guests, Dana, owned a candle business, and she paid for, I think, a month promo read. So it was that, and then Lando with the hats rolled into just having them on and doing it a couple of times, and then going from there. So we've had a lot of guests on like that, which is pretty cool. We've also done a small business roundtable show a few years back and let those guests also talk about their business and have that on as almost like a promotional read for themselves. So it's been pretty cool. We're still working out some other things, but really basically what we'll do is, if you want to come on the show, get a hold of Mike and I. We're happy to do from 1 week to really, a duration of time with being a sponsor. We'll do anything from exchanges of wearing your gear on the show or around town to, a monetary a gift to Ride Home Rants. And it's, pretty nominal when you think about all the listeners that are going to hear your show, especially with all the countries that we are located in within.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if anybody's interested, you can always hit up Mike or hit up myself. We're happy to collaborate, talk, and, even Mike could potentially work out some other trades with you if you have a show and you want him to go on. We've been on this. One of the other former guests, Austin, used to have a sports business.
Mm-hmm.
And we sponsored his all-star baseball game one time. And then Mike's been on the show a bunch. So we would do, or Mike was on the show a few times with Austin, or, and then Austin was on a few times. So we did some exchanges with promo reads on that as well. So yeah, we're happy to always collab and do some different ones. I probably missed a couple people in there, Mike, but I want to definitely give all the listeners a gist of how we, how we codependent with our sponsors when they send us stuff, and how we enable them to have our listeners hear what they're about, and then have us wear their materials.
Yeah, I'm always happy to do that, especially if anybody sends us anything. I will rock it on not just the show here, for everyone that's watching on the Patreon too as well. We'll see all the gear too as well. I don't just wear it on the show. I do wear it out and around town. I will wear it on stage too as well when I'd have any type of comedy show that would pop up that I could be on. I'm always down to help anybody out in any way, shape, or form that we can. That was part of the reason we started with the guest, is I just wanted to be able to help people. And the show is heard in a lot of different countries. I think we're up to like 39 or 40 different countries right now that the show is heard in. I'd have to double check the stats. Freddy, I know you're kind of the numbers guy here with that, but Freddy keeps me in line with the numbers, and he loves diving into those.
So we actually are a little off on that. We're in 81 countries in the world, 80 after the United States, with our biggest 2 through 10. I'll just read them off: for Germany, Brazil, the Netherlands, Singapore, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Ireland. Yeah, are our next 9 biggest ones right after the United States. So we definitely are heard in a lot of places, but probably the biggest ones, though, Germany, Brazil, the Netherlands, Singapore are top 5. So yeah, you're heard there. And then as of today, which is the day before the show's released, we're heard in 1,669 cities worldwide, with people's promos being heard in the top 10 places like Zanesville, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Youngstown, Ohio, Mentor, Ohio, Ashburn, Virginia, Dallas, Texas, North Bergen, New Jersey, and Grahua, Marahano, as rounding out the top 10. So, you are definitely heard in a lot of places when you're a sponsor here.
Yeah, that's one thing that I definitely wanted to get out there. I knew you would have those readily available and be able to see that. I haven't looked at how many countries actually were in a while. But yeah, that's just phenomenal stuff there too as well. So get out, get heard on this show. We are always down to do it. If you want to get a hold of us, in the description of every episode, there is a link where you can send us a quick message. It says send us a text. It will pop up through my phone and through my email, so I will be able to see that. I do respond to those as quickly as I possibly can with them coming through. So excuse me, but yeah, that is one thing we like to do is to be able to help anybody out. And we're always searching for new people to help out and new people to come on board. Again, like Fiddy said, I am always down to cross promote. If you have a show, I will come on yours. I will bring you on ours, so that we can get everything out there for everybody. And again, just to be on the show, we don't charge anything, other than some social media posts is all we ask, to come onto the show for all of the guests on there. And we're up to 283 episodes. I think we are 84. I think this one makes 284 now. So been at it for a while, but that's kind of where we are at with the sponsorships. And I can see you diving into it already, Fiddy. I know you're going to fact check my stats with how many episodes we've actually done.
We have done, I'm looking right now. Gotta dive back into this real quick, but I'm pretty sure this episode will be 285 in 6 years.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, we've been out a lot. We keep pumping these shows out every week. So weekly your stuff will be heard on here. That is what we like to do and what we're willing to do for anybody that is out there. That's kind of all I got for the sponsors. Fiddy, if you have any last words you'd like to get out there, and then we can wrap up this episode.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is as well, right? If you come on as a sponsor, and you're put into a pre-roll or post-roll, it's not just the newest show that you're on. These sponsors can be heard the whole way back to Mike's original shows 6 years ago. I mean, the first guest show with myself up to really the present day, right? So if people are going back and downloading, seasons 1 episode or 3 or 4 or whatever it may be, your sponsorship will still be heard because everybody is tied into the same pre-roll and post-roll on this. So just something to think about, for yourself, right? The show has done great. For two guys really didn't know what we were doing. So, just come jump aboard and, give it a try. And, when I look at just some numbers here real quick, right, we are heard in 81 countries. There's 195 recognized countries in the world. So we are downloaded in 41.3% of the entire world's countries. So, being a sponsor is a good way to get yourself just out there, just get more information. And for people that don't know as well, right, when you're on the show, when you repost about being on the show, everything is being marketed and promoted that way too, right? People are seeing us about the show and they're learning more about you. So I think we do a good job with that marketing and that promotion, even with non-sponsors, because when you are on the show, you are sponsoring the show with that episode, because then you're reposting all about us. So just shout out to all of our sponsors, definitely check them out, right? The world needs more small business support, so definitely give them a whirl and, try them out. And a lot of the guests that are on, who are the sponsors, all have, of course, social media pages too. So if you're not interested in wanting to go to the website, just go to their social media page and check them out. But that's all I got for that, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head. I don't think there's anything that needs to be added to that. Check everybody out for sure. Even the ones that we mentioned that have been on before and have helped out before, check them out for sure too as well with everything. And with that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. Again, I want to thank all of the wonderful sponsors on the show. Johnny for coming on and doing this with me here too as well. Getting to sit down and actually talk about these great companies and be able to get them out there and just to show just about them. I'd love to do that and love to help them out. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me. And I will see y'all next week.
The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by W Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, No jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankitgolf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rocket on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.